Free Comedy Friday, and we have a true legend in the house, and somebody that we've got to know over the years, become friends with, and we're very happy whenever she's coming to town. Nikki Glaser, back in San Diego, performing at the American Comedy Company this weekend. I don't even know if there's tickets available.
There
Nikki.
are a couple.
Okay.
Yeah, there's meet and greets. You can meet me, but there's also regular tickets still available. It's like, this is... I think last time I said that it was the last time you were going to be able to see me for this amount of money.
Yeah.
The ticket price has gone up. Listen, I was right.
Yeah.
I'm getting
You're not
more
messing around.
famous.
You're a mission. Listen.
Yeah. So
Since the last time you've been in, this is almost bittersweet for me because I feel like we know each other now. We're friends over the years, all that stuff. And I didn't know that you were doing my favorite TV show of all time, Dancing with the Stars.
Wait, that's your favorite TV show?
Of course it is.
Yeah, I know.
Is that
a
real?
40-year-old man on a rock station.
Shut up. All I want to do is talk about Dancing with the Stars.
This is all we're going to do. So here's what's bittersweet about it. Is that, number one, I didn't know, so I was kind of hurt. And then all of a sudden...
let me spoil it for people. If you didn't watch Dancing with the Stars last season, I got first voted off.
I like how you put that.
Yeah. That's how I'm phrasing it. Yeah, I got very first, voted, asked to leave. Yeah.
That was devastating for me.
Thank you.
I was thrilled that I felt like my friend is on the show.
Yeah.
My favorite show.
There she is.
Killing it. Doing the whole salsa, bringing the heat. The long legs were right there.
So many sequins.
Looking fine.
It was a dream. I got to dress like JonBenet Ramsey. Had she survived?
That was your dream. That was your dream.
As a woman, I originally said yes to the show because as a woman, you need an excuse to dress like a slut.
Thank you.
TV.
Halloween, normally.
Yeah, Halloween, they're on to us. They know. We all know that joke now. Every girl dresses like a slut on Halloween.
You're not special.
Yes, exactly. They know. So now we have to come up with sneakier ways. And then they called me for Dancing with the Stars, and initially I go, I'm not doing this show. I can't dance.
That's
this
crazy.
is humiliating. I appreciate they're asking me.
Yeah.
It validates that I'm a star.
Yeah.
But then my friend goes, what about the outfits? And I was like, the outfits. I get to wear a swimsuit on TV. I don't have any excuse to show off a body that I kind of work hard to have.
Yeah.
And
you just told us you don't eat carbs.
I work out a lot, and for what? I don't go flaunt it ever.
Yeah.
I don't know what this is for. I don't really hook up with people. It's like, so I go, let's go to Dancing with the Stars. Let's show it off. Let's show all these guys that have rejected me what they're missing.
Hell yeah.
And what they've been missing is someone who can't dance and who was asked to leave TV right away as soon as she got on it.
I was devastated.
I was too.
Because I was voting nonstop for you.
Much.
I was the one.
Nonstop.
I was the one.
But it doesn't matter.
I realized that afterwards.
It doesn't matter when. It was the greatest thing I've ever done, and I was so sad when I got voted off because it was the best time I've ever had. Because the best part about Dancing with the Stars is that I'm so busy, but when you agree to do something like that show, you can't have a life outside of it. It just everything
can't half-ass
else.
that.
You can say no to everything else. Whereas I have a problem saying no to things, and so I just find my life packed with things that sometimes I'm like, oh, why am I doing this?
Right.
When you're Dancing with the Stars, it's your life.
Yeah.
And so you're just like, I'm just a dancer.
How much did you practice? 8 hours a day?
Well, they limit it to 4 hours a day for 6 days a week. For a month leading up to the show.
So you do a whole month before the first episode?
Yeah, before the first episode in which I was voted off first as soon as they could get me off. Leading up to that show, where we all think that we have every chance in the world of succeeding.
Yes.
That's the problem. It's so funny because I really just was... At first, when I started the show, I've never danced in my life, by the way. Like, legit.
Zero.
Never had
ability.
Never. And I've been quite embarrassed by it. Like, I am a really open person, and I do things that people are like, that's humiliating all the time.
We know.
But for whatever reason, I can talk about my vagina on stage in front of strangers and my dad in the crowd. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
But with dancing, it's just this phobia I've always had. I don't ever dance at concerts or at weddings. Like, I'm always, like, kind of the wallflower. I don't even dance, like, in my apartment alone because I'm scared there might be an intruder looking through the closet being like, ew, you know? Like, I don't want anyone to ever see me look ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I think as at a young age, like, there must have been a moment where I danced and was like, look at me, and someone was like, you're bad at that, never do it again. And I was like, noted. So when they asked me to do it, I was like, okay, I'll do it for the outfits. And like, I'm tired of being scared of like dumb, that's a dumb fear to have.
Yeah.
And everyone goes, what? So did you ask them to do it? Like, how'd you get that? I'm like, I would never request to do Dancing with the Stars. I would never seek that out. But when they ask you, you're like, you know, this is some kind of sign from the universe to take on a new challenge. And,
face your fears.
Yeah, face your fears. And then my fears punched me in the face. Is what happened on live television.
Yeah.
Having your name be read as the first one eliminated, it's truly humiliating.
Yeah.
And I'm here to tell you that sometimes I really did think if I took on this challenge, I told myself, what's the worst that can happen? You know when you say that, you go, what's the worst?
Right.
You know, I was like, I'm not going to get first voted off. Like, I'm just too entertaining for that.
Yeah.
They would at least keep me on a couple episodes. I didn't think I was going to even get close to winning. Not even,
Right.
I wanted to last 2 episodes,
Yeah.
right? I just didn't want to be first voted off because that means you're the worst.
Right.
And I wouldn't be because I'm funny, I'm cute enough. Like they'll get some other
There's gotta be
old
some.
man.
There's gotta be somebody
they'll
that's
get an
worse.
old boy.
There's gotta be.
Who did you think was going to be first off?
Well, there was
I was like, okay,
there was a
you'll go
blind
before I go.
woman on the show, so I thought maybe skill-wise,
You got a better
Right,
chance. than
yeah,
she
you would
did.
think.
yeah, she's
Which
a
makes
fully
sense.
blind
Right.
woman.
Yeah, you have more senses, so.
Yeah, that would work.
You got a leg up.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was a leg down being cited on that show because my dance partner was so hot. I think if I would have been blind, I could have gone further because I couldn't focus because he was so hot.
Did you ever consider at some point blinding yourself?
I would try to close my eyes during the that is a good idea.
You should've.
Just some kind of next time.
Yeah.
Right? When they
Like
call.
chop your hand off or
By
something.
the way, I'm dying to get back on that show because I did feel like I went in disadvantaged because I just had never danced before, even though the person who won had also never danced before. So the guy that won. We met the first day and we were both like, what are we doing here? We're both going to be so terrible. We both had 0 dance experience. And then he started early on being like, I think I'm going to win. And I was like, no, you're not. You're awful. And like no one on the 27 seasons of this show has ever won having been a bad dancer. You have to be at least serviceable, right?
Yeah.
There's been like people who maybe aren't the best dancer on the show that have won, but no one who's the worst dancer on the show wins. And he won.
Yeah, it
And
was
so-
Bobby Bones.
And
Yeah.
so I
Oh,
said,
that's right.
Yeah.
Bobby Bones won?
Yeah,
Yes.
he won.
Won.
And
Yeah.
he was
he's
not
terrible.
even close to being the best.
No.
No.
But he rallied his audience,
Yeah.
which is very smart.
And he broke the show because no one in the history of
Yeah.
that show has won being that terrible of a dancer.
Right.
And everyone, after he won, the show takes itself so seriously, everyone had to be like, he's a good dancer. And I refused to do that. I was just like, no, I go, this is history being made. The worst
Yeah.
dancer on the show won the show.
Right,
and
right.
everyone's like, you can't say that. I'm like, but we
But it's
saw
true,
him.
yeah. I have eyes.
He worked
Well, that
harder
one
than everyone
dancer did
else.
see
Yeah.
him.
But he did win, and I just didn't realize I could have won being
Yeah.
a bad dancer. That was never an option to me. But what I did in a lot of interviews, because you do so much press leading up to the show, and they were like, "What are your goals for the show?" And I just kept being like, "You know what? I will have won if I'm not first voted off." Like that's my goal.
Oh,
I said
ouch.
it so many times.
Oh,
I
it
really think
hurts.
a producer was kind of like, "Noted."
Yeah.
But it
Brutal.
was. I mean, there were so many moments of the show that were so brutal for me. Okay, my dance partner was the hottest guy in the show. Like,
Who?
Gleb Savchenko. Is his
Okay.
name. And I'm not kidding you. He's the hottest guy I've ever talked to in my life. Like,
Really?
And you guys are very close.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
there's a lot of
Sweaty.
intimate moments.
You don't understand. If you go on Dancing with the Stars, you will fall in love with your dance partner if you're on it long enough.
It happened to
I
Nikki
did-
Bella, right? Like she's
yeah,
like
Nikki
dating
and Artem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nikki Bella and Artem fell in love on the show. I mean,
Well, they're together.
after
Yeah.
the show. But,
Yeah,
I mean,
totally.
it's the
We know
spark
what's up.
happens on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding you guys. Insider info, and this is not fact based, but
Ooh.
like you see couples emerge on the show. Of the couples I would triple it as the couples that have hooked up on the show.
Really?
Everyone on
hook
that
up.
show is hooking up. It's far too intimate.
How do you not?
I was hooking up on the show. I'm not going to tell you with who, but I was hooking, because you are in a traumatic experience that only and you're in a bubble. It's like being in the Twin Towers on 9/11. Like,
Oh,
I'm not
wait.
kidding you.
Dancing with the Stars.
It's a trauma. I'm not saying
Quite a
it's the same,
comparison,
but I'm
Nikki.
saying that people that were in that, like, when you go through like a hostage situation.
Yeah,
and
like
I
a
don't know
survivors
about
group.
A survivors group. Yes,
Okay.
Yes,
And
that is you.
That's
You're
how it
related.
feels because no one in your life relates to what you're going
Were
through.
you
Right.
making goodbye calls to family members?
I
or-
should have been.
No.
I should have been making goodbye calls to the people on the show.
Right.
Because little did I
You
know,
knew.
I was going
You're
to
out.
be a claw machine out of the show and spit back on the East Coast. That's how it felt. I was eliminated on Monday night, on a Tuesday
Oh.
night
Yeah.
at 7 p.m. and I had to be in LA and I had to be on Good Morning America at 9 a.m. on the East Coast. So you literally get eliminated. You get told to leave. I didn't have a bag packed. I didn't have anything because I didn't think I was being sent home. Right? Because there was a blind woman on the show. So I just didn't see it coming until about 15 minutes before my name was announced. I kind of looked around and I was like doing the math and I'm like, I could go home to, like, I was like, oh, I might be, holy crap, like, I couldn't believe it. So then that's when the planning started happening of, like, maybe I should call my stylist and be like, can you put together an outfit for tomorrow? Because I literally don't have a bag packed. So, because I was going to go on Good Morning America in my Dancing with the Stars robe. I had nothing. So I got eliminated. I'm crying. I'm running around my trailer. My whole family's there because they flew out from St. Louis to, like, support me on my debut
Wait
on
a
the
minute,
show.
Nikki. It affected you so much that you were crying.
Are you kidding me?
Well, I don't know. I don't know.
Dude, this show was my life for a month.
Grocery Store Joe made it longer.
That's true.
He'd be crying too.
That's true.
Grocery Store Joe was a terrible.
He was atrocious.
He was bad, but I can't deny that people liked him and
love
wanted
him.
to see
People
him.
love him.
Yeah.
Which I don't understand.
No, he was so cute and he's so nice and like I just felt like why. If Grocery Store Joe is making it because of likability, why? My whole life is being likable. I know that I can't dance. I know that I don't have, like, I never felt like a cute girl growing up. So I built defense mechanisms to be likable.
Yeah.
And to get eliminated from that show, I knew I wasn't a good dancer, but I'm like, keep me on for just being
the jumps.
funny.
The jumps. Yeah.
And they didn't. And they were just like, no, we're good. And then I got off and I'm walking around my trailer like just throwing shit. I have to go. Oh, sorry. So sorry.
It's okay.
You're fired up. I get it.
It's very emotional right now.
And I'm taking off my dumb outfit. Which, by the way, like, there were signs that I was gonna go. Can I just give you some signs that were there?
Oh yeah.
First of all, like, on the show, before the cast is announced, it's top secret who's on the cast. So you have to go to rehearsal. They give you like a ball cap and a hoodie and glasses, and you feel like a celebrity. There's paparazzi up front. Everyone just thinks I'm a producer or something. Like, no one even recognizes me. And by the way, when the cast was announced, I was like, I've never heard of any of these people. Literally, it's
Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah. It's the jury duty of being a celebrity at this point. You just get asked eventually, and I would do it. I might say bad things about the show. If they asked me to do it tomorrow, I would leave my life and go back.
Let's say this is producer talking here.
Oh, here we go.
I pitched this.
If we do Dancing with the Stars Redemption,
I've been pitching it.
Nikki.
They're like,
that's genius.
I go, why don't we do first voted off?
Yeah.
Everyone or whoever got voted off before they had a chance to really showcase themselves.
Their skills.
Yes, and the fans are behind it. Everyone loves this idea. The producers are like, no, we asked you to leave for a reason. Like, you think it was you were a bad dancer. Like, no one wanted to. Our network didn't like you.
Jeff Ross. I mean, we could get a whole thing going.
So fun.
Great.
Because I know that I liked watching that show with the times that I had seen it when people were truly bad and you were like, oh my God, they're scared. They don't know what they're going to do. They're going to dance on live TV. Can they do it?
Yeah.
I mean, and I accomplished what I needed to do on that show, which is like I learned a dance that I've never learned to dance before, and I didn't fall, I didn't miss a step. I just wasn't great, and the judges were so mean, and then they were mean. So we did 2 nights, right? You do the first night, you do a dance, and the second night you do a dance, and the second night, I knew that the judges were so mean to me on the first night, and they were nice to everyone else, and they're like, oh, Grocery Store Joe, I like you, even though you're a bad dancer, I like you. And I'm like, because you're an old man who's misogynist, and you don't like women. That's why. You don't like a woman owning her sexuality, Len. I know I remind you. Len Goodman was so mean to me, and it's just because I remind him of a granddaughter who hasn't called him in a while or something. You know where a guy just doesn't like you, and you're like, this isn't even about me.
No.
Right.
Yeah. Wow. And he was just, but I go, why do you like Grocery Store Joe and you don't like me?
Right.
Like, what's going on here?
You took it personally.
Yeah, they just didn't like, they don't like women on that show being like, feeling themselves, which I'm like, that's the whole point of it, right? That's the whole point of it. But you can feel yourself if you're a 24-year-old Instagram supermodel. But if you're a 35-year-old comedian, they're like, stick to the jokes, lady. We're not trying to empower you on the show.
Oh, this is amazing.
And it's hard because I was asked to do the show, and I think I was asked to be on as like, be funny and stuff. But then as soon as I get in the studio, my dance partner is like, stop being funny. Like, you have to take this seriously. Like, this is dancing. Like, you can't be silly. So drop the jokes. And so it was kind of nice to be like, good, I'm going to drop being funny. I'm going to actually try to own my body and be a woman. And like, and learn it. And then the show was like, yeah, no thanks, we don't want that. We asked you to be funny.
You're a comedian.
And then I tried to be funny, and I accidentally like did a sex joke that I didn't even mean to live on air. Because Tom Bergeron asked me, he's like, has being a comedian prepared you at all for, dancing? And I didn't know what to say. I was just trying to be sincere, and I was like, yeah, because I've faced a lot of rejection in my career. I've had a lot of rough sets. And I said that rough sets is like a common comedian term, and I just didn't realize that it's not
sort of sounded like
ubiquitous, like that everyone would know what rough sets is. But and then Tom kind of goes, oh, and everyone groaned, and I go, what, did I say something funny? What did I say?
Yeah.
And they thought I said rough sex.
Right.
Which is an insane thing to say on
yeah,
TV. Comedy has prepared me a lot because I've had a lot of rough sex. It doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't even make sense.
But then it does, but I don't know.
And then every producer that was like, we know she's going to go rogue, it like validated to them, like, oh, yep, she's too dirty for TV. And I think they were like, let's get her out of here. We can't trust her on mic. And I was like, I didn't even say if you really want me to be sexual, this is the hottest show ever. I'm turned on constantly. I wish you had a wet floor sign when I make it. There you go. And constantly aroused on this guy. Sorry, it was so. It was the best time of my life, and I would kill to go back. And my partner was so hot, and everyone on the show was hot, and I was dying to hook up with everyone. I was just like, it was awesome.
This is so
because
much more
all the show is so sexy. Like everyone's hooking up.
That's crazy.
It's true.
Oh, this is the best inside information ever.
Oh, and
very exciting.
Have you ever just held someone for 4 hours a day?
Yeah.
No.
Intimately?
Yeah,
Like, I had just gotten out of a relationship where I didn't get a lot of affection, and so I got thrust into this Dancing with the Stars, so it was wild because I was in a relationship where you just, some people just aren't as, like, touchy-feely, and I was with a guy that just wasn't, and it was hard for me because my love language is touch and money, and so I suddenly was on Dancing with the Stars, and all these rich guys touching me. It was awesome.
It was the greatest moment of your life.
It was the best. I can talk about it all day, clearly.
Well, it's clearly. So here's what we're going to do. We'll take a quick time out. Nikki, you going to hang around?
Yes.
I know you can. So let's hang out more with Nikki Glaser when we get back on the show.
American Comedy Company.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.